We welcome you to the technical briefing of the Authentic Pheidippides Run. We welcome and greet the friends and athletes participating for the first time in the event, and we welcome back our friends and athletes who have returned to our event this year. The race is on an open road. It is 490 kilometers long with a positive elevation gain of 6,479 meters. The highest point is at 1,227 meters. This is the largest open road race in the world, starting and finishing at the central market of Athens in Keramikos, on Thursday at 6 a.m. and the attendance. Here is the QR code with which companions and athletes can follow the instructions in order to reach each of the event's stations one by one. The total number of stations is 78. There are 12 checkpoints and 12 rest points for the athletes. The points are Kineta, Examilia, Ancient Nemea, Nestani, Tegea, Voutiani, and of course, passing through Sparta and the statue of King Leonidas. We would like to inform you that the event signage has 4 characteristics. It has an arrow with 2 directions. At that point, we go and return. It also has an arrow down on the asphalt with 1 direction, meaning that we follow in that direction, as there are some variations in the route. The ribbons, the orange ribbons with the event's logo, and the reflectors, which we have mainly calculated for points where athletes pass at night and where we could not place markings on the ground. We would like to mention 2 things regarding safety. Runners fully accept responsibility for their participation and release the organizers and all involved from any liability for anything that may happen to them during or after the race. Athletes must also be aware that the race is essentially strenuous, and they certify that their health condition, as per the doctor's order, allows them to participate, and they should have adequately prepared. They should also know that medical coverage will be available throughout the race, but it cannot be present at all times at various points along the route. Additionally, the race is 490 kilometers long and takes place on public roads with simultaneous vehicle circulation. Runners are advised to move on the left side of the road. From sunset to sunrise, it will be required to wear light-colored clothing and to wear the vest that will be provided, the race's color vest with reflectors. Definitely a flashlight for the duration of the night and a light on the back of our heads. It is strongly recommended not to cover both ears if they are using headphones. The organization does not prohibit anything but warns that they should not be covered to keep their full attention to the road. The supervisors are responsible if they deem that the athlete should not continue, for safety reasons, to cancel the participation. Also, we say yes to enjoying the challenge, but if you do not feel well, stop. Health comes first and do not put your life at risk. A second aspect regarding safety. As you know, there will also be athlete tracking devices. Athletes must keep them in a holder in front of their belt, somewhere visible. Not too hidden, so they can be seen when needed to be checked. They transmit location data every 5 minutes. There is also an SOS button. If the athlete gets lost or needs help, a center will receive the message and will contact the organization to assist. A second point concerns dogs. Generally, we love them. As an organization, we love all animals and dogs, but we do have some repellents using ultrasound in case you want them. These are battery-operated and do not harm any living being, they just scare them away with some sounds. Those who have a problem can ask us to have them and accompany them at certain points in the mountains or in some night sections and hand them over to the next station or a companion. All the rules are detailed on the website. We would like to mention 2 or 3 important ones. First, support for athletes must be provided exclusively at the event stations 30 meters before or 30 meters after. In coordination with a volunteer at the same station, they can rest in their support vehicle. And again, with information given to and in coordination with a station volunteer. Individuals not affiliated with the organization and various companions are prohibited at any point except at the stations. They are also not allowed to accompany participants. It is clarified that there is a possibility the organizing committee may allow an athlete to be accompanied for a limited distance and only if there is a specific safety reason concerning the athlete. It should be noted that violating the above rules may result in the disqualification of the athlete. A second point is that drop bags or the athlete's belongings will only be delivered to the 12 main stations. It is essential that the packaging includes their name, preferably a bib number, and the station they want. Athletes who have withdrawn or have been disqualified for various reasons will be transported specifically on the return route. This should be emphasized. They will be taken to the nearest main station. There, they will be provided with food, warmth, and a place to rest, and every possible effort will be made to return them to Athens and their accommodation, their hotel, as soon as possible. It should be noted that this can only be done until the closure of the specific main station, because at that time the safety of the participants on the road is the priority. Thank you. Let's begin with a detailed briefing on the race sectors. The start is from the ancient Agora at the intersection of Ermou and Piraeus streets. From here to Elefsis, we will head to the right side of the road. On the Eraudos Avenue, we ascend with a slight incline and head towards the Athens Kavala Avenue. There, with the help of traffic officers, we will follow their instructions and cross to the opposite side of the road. We will go to the right side of the road parallel to the vehicles. Never on the national road should we go from the opposite of the road at any point. The first point we need to be aware of is at the 15th kilometer. There, make sure you do not go up onto the overpass of the fast lane, go to the side next to and below the bridge parallel. We reach the first point. In Elefsis, approximately at the half marathon of the event, at 20 kilometers, we follow the instructions of the volunteers where there is a station in the direction according to their instructions, and we do not go across for those who have participated in the Spartathlon across where the Spartathlon goes. We proceed along the main road of Elefsis, and about 2 kilometers later we encounter Aegean, a gas station. There we turn left. There will definitely be a traffic officer to assist us, but we must also stay alert. From that point, we inform you that we can go, or we can recommend that athletes go to the left side of the road. Signage will be present on both sides of the road for the comfort of our athlete friends. From here on, we enter a road with some fast traffic, with trucks, buses, and all vehicles moving alongside us, since it is a regular working day. We will not encounter any serious point following that trucks and our main road until the 38th kilometer, where we pass under the bridge of the national road. Following the signs, we reach the first checkpoint. There, outside the two supermarkets, the first checkpoint of the route, let us remind you that checking in is mandatory, and the main station of the athletes' drop bags and belongings that you have obviously left, which you want to receive for those who do not have a companion, will be at the first station in Kineta. It is about 14 to 15 kilometers later. Let us always remind you that we must be careful because we are on a fast-moving road and we are moving parallel. Upon reaching Kineta and at the 54th kilometer, 54.6, you must enter if you want to rest. It is also our first main station that we will have food and hot meals. And then we proceed. We reach Margarita at the Isthmus. Before we reach Margarita, please, we want your utmost attention. There will also be a traffic officer there. At that point, our attention is needed as we pass to reach the Isthmus because cars are heading to enter the national road at high speeds. There will definitely be a traffic officer there. So we reach the Isthmus, cross the bridge, following the instructions of the traffic officers who assist us, and after 2 kilometers, we arrive at the ancient wall. From there on, things are a bit calmer in terms of traffic, and we head towards our second main station. This station, Examilia, at the 86th kilometer, is both a rest station and a checkpoint. So be careful, you must definitely pass through the checkpoint. After resting, we continue, heading towards Nemea. About 3 kilometers later, we reach a junction, passing over the national road. We definitely want to be careful there. And that is the second point that differs from the Spartathlon route. We go left at this intersection at the traffic lights, heading towards Chiliomodi and Agios Vasilios. We do not consider that there is any serious point there. We follow the route signage on our main road. Be definitely careful because cars are moving at high speeds, and we reach at a very important point where we need your utmost attention. There we have ensured that we have a station, and it is Agios Vasilios at the 108th kilometer at the Bizio Café. There we turn right, we need to be careful. There will be significant signage below, but we must be cautious not to forget and go straight. There is a right direction. We gradually ascend, passing through ancient Kleonis and reaching our main station 10 kilometers later. The third main station of the event is ancient Nemea. Since it is evening, please ensure and stay alert. We will ensure there is a sufficient lighting or signage below, but since it is usually evening, when we pass through, we definitely want your attention. After we rest, we begin and proceed, thus closing the third sector and moving towards the fourth sector. Following the main road, which is uphill for a short stretch, about 4 kilometers later, there's a sharp left turn at the 122nd kilometer. There will be definitely signage there, but you should also be attentive. We continue on the main road, and 2 to 2.5 kilometers later, there will be an organization station at the Geobre point, which guides us to a very beautiful part of the route, but unfortunately, it is evening for most in the olive groves. From here on, the road is a bit gentler, although that does not mean we should not pay attention to the route, but there are very few cars. We head towards the 137th kilometer. You will not have a problem. We turn right to go towards Lyrkia. The signage is very clear, but you will not have any issues. There will also be ribbons at the specific point, and we ascend following the main road. A bit more caution is needed here, and we arrive after leaving the village of Lyrkia behind at the 144th kilometer near the station of Yaya Panayota. This is an important point because it changes again. There is a differentiation again. Our organization follows the diagonal road to the left and ascends towards Karia, towards the village of Karia. It does not go right up the mountain. Upon reaching Karia, we should remind and state that the passage of accompanying vehicles is prohibited from Karia. Therefore, we must ensure at the station of Yaya Panayota at the 143rd kilometer to follow the GPS instructions and go to the next station where we will meet our athlete. Only there is allowed now at Yorgos Panos in Nestani. It is 15 to 17 kilometers later. Passage through the mountain at Artemisio is prohibited for safety reasons. So upon reaching Karia, a difficult part of the route begins, which is also the bulk of the elevation that the organization has, both going and returning. So we ascend about 5 kilometers on asphalt. We encounter 4 kilometers of dirt forest road, and from there our descent begins for 6 kilometers and we reach our main station, Yorgos Panos in Nestani, at the 168th kilometer. There is also a rest station and a checkpoint. There will be areas for you to rest and sleep. A significant step has been made reaching this point. After we rest, we close the 4th sector with our arrival in Nestani and proceed towards Tegea in the 5th sector. In Tegea, we need to be very careful. Again, at this point, 6 kilometers after Nestani, we make a sharp left turn. There we will again look to have a station at the turn of Luka, but we must definitely be cautious. We turn left for 6 kilometers. Following the main road and passing under a bridge, we reach the square in Neochori, leaving behind Zevgolatio. There is strong signage there, and it is during the night at the 184th kilometer we must turn right. Going there for about 2 kilometers, we reach a main road, which is a fast traffic road, but it is night during this time. We must definitely be cautious, and for 200 to 300 meters, we immediately turn right after we exit onto this road, then immediately turn left. And it is the final straight to close our 5th sector and reach our main station in Tegea. After we rest, Tegea is also a main station. It is definitely a checkpoint. Leaving Tegea behind 2 kilometers later is Kamari. Where we turn left, there is definitely a station of the organization, and we slowly ascend for our last stretch. Following and reaching, we follow the main road for about 45 kilometers. We arrive at Selassia. There is very strong signage down there. We turn left and begin the final descent, approaching and reaching our main station. Caution! At Voutianis, the priestly station is the main station of the organization. There is also rest, you can sleep. From there we have 10 kilometers left from Voutianis to reach the municipal stadium and King Leonidas. There is a checkpoint and the halfway point. There will be rest, there will be some snacks, there will be food, and we begin after resting a bit, leaving King Leonidas behind and starting to ascend towards our main station, which will have hot food meals. The next point where we need to pay attention is at the 290th kilometer, which is about 2 kilometers before our main station and checkpoint at Tegea. There's an organization station there. 2 kilometers later, we reach Tegea. We rest, and from there we leaving. Do not consider that there is any significant point to be careful, not to lose someone. We follow the direction to the right. There is signage there at Luka, where the main station is. You will turn right and ascend towards the station of Nestani. Let us remind you that again, in Nestani, after the companions see their athlete, they must turn back. It is prohibited to remind again the ascent and passage through the mountain. They must turn back, follow the instructions, and be at the station of Yaya Panayota. The athlete continues and ascends from the mountain. He ascends 6 kilometers uphill. He encounters for 4 kilometers the second part of the forest road, and then the descent towards Karia begins for 5 to 5.5 kilometers. Arriving in Karia, the village, after descending for 2.5 kilometers, we draw your attention very much. There is a fork and we turn left. Attention, we turn left because there is also a road leading to Argos. There will be a strong signage. One point of attention is leaving behind Sterna after Lyrkia and the cafe. We must definitely turn left. At approximately the 351st kilometer of the event, There will be very strong signage there below, but we emphasize very much do not go straight. It is after the Café Bahumi. There we'll also have a station. We will look to inform the volunteer for updates regarding the relevant attention. There will be ribbons again on our left and signage below. And exactly 1,600 meters after we turn left, we will keep an eye out to turn right. Attention, right. There will be a marking on the ground and there may also be ribbons. Attention, right. We start to ascend heading towards Nemea and our next main station. At the 363rd kilometer, 2.5 kilometers after Geovremi, there is a sharp turn to the right. We repeat that all points where we change direction sharply, you will see there will be clear markings on the ground, and wherever we can, either ribbons or reflectors. We draw your attention, however, we are heading to Nemea, thus closing in on our main station and checkpoint at the 9th sector. We proceed from our main station after resting and leave be heading towards Examilia. Following the markings of the ground, we consider that there is no point of strong attention here to avoid getting lost. However, we inform you that from Bizio onwards we enter a fast traffic road. Heavy traffic with cars driving parallel to the runners, so we definitely draw attention to the situation. Attention must be maintained throughout the duration of the race, but we inform you that certain points need more attention due to the traffic. We pass through Heliomodi. One more point we want to make again, turning right, following the markings on the ground, is at the 397th kilometer, 2 kilometers before we reach our main station in Examilia. We turn sharply right. We are on a main road and we must turn onto a provincial, lightly trafficked road. Arriving in Examilia this way closes the 10th sector. It is a main station and a resting station for our belongings and whatever we have left. We head towards the finish now. Now Athens is in front of us and visible. Approaching after Examilia, we make a pass and on the return again, under a bridge from the national road, there will be signage, do not worry. Arriving at the ancient walls, we turn right. There we follow the isthmus, reaching Margarita, and then it is a straight road all the way. We need to be careful, however, here before we reach our main station in Kineta. The road is of heavy traffic. We're on a main road and we need to be very careful. Kineta, we remind you, is only a resting station. The 11th sector closes at our last checkpoint, which is Megara, 15 kilometers after the resting station in Kineta. From here on, following the signage, you cannot get lost. In any case, keep paying attention at all times because we are on an old national road, cars are moving fast, and we are running parallel to the traffic. At the 464th kilometer, 2 kilometers before we reach the station in Elefsina, at the Aegean gas station, we turn sharply right. There will be clear markings on the ground. Arriving and leaving Elefsina behind, Athens awaits us. We are in the last 20 kilometers. We return to follow the arrows you will see on the ground one way, which means from here until our finish we move on the right side of the national road and the road in general, heading towards Athens, leaving Elefsina behind. We do not go anywhere on the left side of the road. We keep on the right of the road, heading right 3.5 kilometers after Elefsina. We make sure we do not ascend to the national road on the overpass above on the fast lane. Instead, we go to the side parallel to the bridge. From here on, it is clear. We have arrived in Athens. You will see there will also be people accompanying you. Arriving at the finish, you have accomplished a tremendous feat. We, on our part, wish you strength, good luck, and enjoy the route. No matter how tiring the specific route is, we respect it, we love it, but in no case do we fear it. We are waiting for you, and we expect you as much at the start as at the finish, all of you. We are looking forward to see you all there. We wish you strength.